Hi everyone, thanks Sam. My name's Troy Brown. I'm one of the two co-founders of XBert, and I really appreciate everyone, or the buzz around at the moment, everyone wanting to sort of find out more about XBert. So it's been really exciting to be invited into AAT to showcase what we're up to, and I hope everyone gets a good glimpse today and signs up for a trial and provides some feedback for our exciting roadmap ahead. So I hope you enjoy what I'm about to showcase to you today. People ask about how we came about building XBert. I guess Aaron and I's backgrounds looking after businesses. I've run my businesses forever, I guess. The last business didn't turn out as planned after 15 years with a few hiccups. Money getting squirreled away from other partners and a few bookkeeping errors that didn't turn out as planned. Aaron had similar incidences with sort of payout figures once other directors wanted to buy Aaron out of the business with shifting of profits. And a lot of talking to a lot of business people and a lot of bookkeepers and accountants that there was issues and gaps in their workflows that led us to build XBert. So we went away and we put together a framework, I guess, of what we were going to build. And I guess the framework sort of includes, making sure that all the parties involved, business owners, bookkeepers and accountants, can work better together and have their relationships in hand so all parties can stay a step ahead. And obviously to help businesses make smarter decisions from more accurate accounting data before it's too late. And also, what would be needed was a framework that can strengthen these relationships, and it helps bookkeepers and business owners and accountants all be able to spend more time on building their business. So the framework that we focused on, the framework that we put together to make XBert is simply this. It's audit and risk detection, with a collaborative workflow that helps provide smarter data insights, and it builds enhanced relationships between all the parties. Now this should all help reduce financial risks, save everyone time and money, and what we all want is be able to increase our profits across the board. So XBert, everyone says, what's XBert stand for? It stands for an Expert Business Alert. And the whole idea of it is to alert you to risks before you know the risk exists. So what XBert does is it uses sophisticated algorithms and predictive analytics and machine learning tech to analyse zero files and detect any financial risk. We look at doing all that hard work for you, and saving some time and find things that even the trained eye might not look for. Some of those things are working with Australian contact records, and a massive time saver for everyone is GST and ABN checks to help you be compliant. We would look for things like someone who owes you money has cancelled their business, and we look into learning patterns about your business data and look for unusual transactions and bring those to the surface. We look for things like duplicates, raised and paid, and other data entry anomalies based on past patterns, and we also sort of monitor your client payment behaviours to help you sort of be aware of when to chase things down. We look to seek out potential fraud and alerting you to risks about cash flow. We look for things like missing supplier payments, missing BAS payments, and a lot more, and we continually develop experts weekly. So what do you do with an XBert? Best thing to do here is we'll jump into a little demo. So if you're looking to start a trial and trial out XBert, you jump onto our website, XBert, xbert.io. Go up to the top corner, hit start trial now. You get to choose whether or not you want to sign up with a Google account or just enter in your own. Soon Xero will be releasing their single sign-on, which will be integrated with XBert very soon after. And first of all, we have to decide whether or not what type of business we are. And we just want to sign up a single tenant, or is it a business signing up, or are we an advisor or bookkeeping firm? We'll click on the Create Multi-Connect portal. So we just fill out this form quickly. And here we'd select we are an external bookkeeping team. Well, actually, this is the role within your Connect team, so you might be the business owner. So we hit Connect. The next thing we need to do is upload our business logo. And the reason we're uploading the business logo is because when you invite your clients to XBert, they will be greeted with your business logo and greeting upon every single sign up. So we've got that loaded in. The next step would be to invite your team, which you can do later. We'll skip that for now and we'll go in and add first organisation. The organisation that we need to load, we need to sort of say what is our role within that organisation. Let's say we're the external bookkeeping team for that company. Who's going to manage the payment for this subscription later on? We're going to say we will, or you can pass on an email to the client via this button here. So it's as simple as clicking on 0. MyOb and QuickBooks will be coming, not quite before the end of the year, unfortunately. Early next year we will be releasing that. We simply grant access. Okay, so all we need to do here is log in with our 0 credentials, select the file that we want to sync into XBert, and allow access. And what happens now, XBert just starts pulling in data from a 0 file in read-only, and it'll take between 5 and 45 minutes to complete a load of a file. 45 minutes is quite extreme. If you've got something like 15,000 invoices to load, well then it will take 45 minutes. You get the option here to add another file at the same time, or we can just go back to the Connect portal. Now we're in a Connect portal now, and this is where we will see all our files load, and here you can see we're still loading this organisation here. So I've quickly just jumped into another Connect portal, and here you'll see 4 0 files loaded up. Your Connect portals just for your practice and your clients invited in to your XBert accounts later won't ever have access to this. What we can see here is each client has a potential risk amount which relates to your XBerts. Every single XBert has a potential risk dollar value to it. It also tells you how many tasks have been assigned to you within that client. It tells you what's unreconciled and tells you year to profit to date. We're updating this quite regularly, so we're looking for features, requests for what XBert Connect will become, and I'll show you a little bit later on a new feature that we're loading very, very shortly, and hopefully by the time you've started a trial it will be ready. It's called a process status board that will be inside Connect. But the main idea here is it's access to your XBert account for your client. So if we click on Open XBert, we'll jump into this one. I'm going to skip through there. I'm going to go straight to the XBerts. And here we've got a whole variety of XBerts that might appear. This is a variety of what you might see or might not see depending on the quality of the files and who's been working on them. Here you'll see a bill raised with supplier not registered for GST, a bill raised with a cancelled supplier, an invoice raised with a cancelled customer, a payment to a cancelled supplier, unpaid income with a cancelled business. That would be one to worry about. Someone that owes you money that you didn't know had cancelled their business. You might not ever get that money again. So we've got many of these GST and ABN related ones. What XBert does is syncs with the ABR lookup system, and we pull a lot of that data down and warehouse it in our own data and monitor the GST status changes for you and the ABN number checks for you, so you don't get blindsided by people trying to use other people's ABNs or deregistering their company for GST, and you go on and pay those guys GST. So business has incorrect status, incorrect GST status, incorrect ABN for business, incorrect business name for your ABN. We also look for things like duplicates. It's quite sophisticated, the old duplicate checker in invoices and bills raised and when they're paid. Also looks for your duplicate contacts. This XBert here has detected a different account name for an income transaction. So XBert learns over your data over time, machine learns over your data, and it looks for common and unusual behaviour. And in this instance, it's looked at this contact record that's been coded to other revenue, where normally it has been coded to software subscriptions. So a lot of little bits of fraud get squirreled away in these little areas, and this is what this XBert is out to help detect. Here you'll see this one over here is for an expense transaction. We also look at checking whether or not your files have got lock dates on them. Lock dates for when they've been locked off at the end of the year, and also locked off for advisors. This one here, missing supplier payment. Think about rent's a great example here, where you've got BAS coming up and there's 2 rent payments seen and one seems to be missing, and there's always been 3 rent payments before, so it'll sort of go, hey, where's the third one? Here we can see some large GST activity with a contact without an ABN. Here we've got an overdue invoice that's outside normal behaviour, and we don't just go and look for overdue invoices. What we're trying to do here is look at the average debtor days of your clients, and rather than go, okay, he's late, we look at that now he's later than he's ever been before, and that can often be a little window into that business not be travelling too well, and it might be time to hurry up and have a quick phone call. Outside bill behaviour. There we're sort of looking for your bills that are detrimental to the operations of your business. We classify some contact records and bills into certain buckets that we realise are regular sort of payments, and when you start to sort of pay those outside your normal behaviour, we sort of flag that with you to say, hey, you might want to pay this, otherwise some important part of your business may be impacted. Here you can see a duplicate invoice that's been paid. Manual adjustment of profit and loss. This is sort of where I alluded to sort of my co-founder Aaron's past, where a few payments were moved around and a few expenses were moved around pre-lockout dates, and they were impacted the profitability of the business. They changed the profitability of the business pre-lockout period. So we'll think about what happened to that $500,000. What happened to that $20,000? Why did they change? Here you can see expenses with a cancelled business. We even show you when your account system is getting lonely. Obviously you can't make very good business decisions if you haven't updated all your financial data and reconciled all your expenses and income. Here's a good example of some unusual monthly invoicing. Think about that as you've got a great client who you usually bill $5,000 a month, and all of a sudden you're not billing him $5,000 a month anymore. You're only billing him $1,000, so that's sort of a bit of a red flag that someone who gives you a lot of business might not be giving you that business as much anymore. So those are a few XBerts that we've got in the system. There's a few more, and we've got them pumping in every day, and we sort of prioritise these based on our user feedback. So try and get involved about the things that would help you save time looking for. That's the whole idea. What we actually do with an XBert is another story. So what I might give you an example for here, this particular one here, we've got a GST registration issue. And think about every XBert as like a ticket. They have a details section and resolve button that links into Xero. You can flag an XBert as red hot to get it done. You can assign an XBert to anyone, and you can put a date on an XBert to be fixed within a certain time period, and you can chat about any XBert. It's all about keeping correspondence on one issue all in one place, nice, neat and tidy, so when it is filed away, you can always have reference to it. So by clicking on the details button here, we open up the actual XBert. There's a lot of information here, generally good information for business owners, advisors and practices will already know these type of issues and what can happen if these things aren't resolved. But because we've got a GST or an ABN issue, we get an ABN lookup button here. So this does all the work for you. If you click on that button, it'll take you straight to the ABN lookup and do the search for you. You can see BP Wardell here, and we can see that it's not registered for GST. And so if we go back to our XBert, we can hit our Resolve Now button. It'll take us directly to Xero, where we can update this contact record. And after we've updated that tax record in here, what happens with XBert? It will then appear as resolved in this white header up here. You can choose to automatically file a resolved XBert, or leave it there for a few days just to make sure that it was actually fixed correctly. When XBert actually syncs with your data every single hour, so it won't detect that until the hour ticks over. That could be an hour away, it could be 5 minutes away, depending on where you are within that hour. So that's a good example of how that works. You do have the ability to hide XBerts from certain users and clients, and you're able to go into the business settings for this particular client and choose to hide these XBerts from these from non-Connect users. So if you've invited your business owners, your clients, into this XBert account, click this button if you don't want to show them XBerts. We encourage you to share XBerts, and by showing you sort of how to do that, you can simply assign an XBert to a particular user, and then they will see that XBert on their task board. If XBerts are hidden, they just don't get the XBert menu, but they will see these ones that you assign to them. And that's a great way to actually build the collaboration and try and get a bit more stickiness with your customer, show them a little bit more value add. You'll assign one of these to them, they'll get an email, and that way they can either fix the file themselves, or if they're the type of client that looks after their own books, or they can assign it back to you to fix, and they can just start chatting, right? So that you just start chatting on any one of those XBerts about that issue. So you can create a task as well, so it's a whole task workflow collaboration system. So you turn an XBert into a task, or you can create a task. It could be, where are the receipts for end of quarter? I can put a link in if I want it to actually link to a Xero file. I'll put a description in here, and I can add subtasks in here. Simply assign it to one of our users and we save the task. We can set a reoccurring date on that task if it's something that's done every month for this particular client. Just hit reoccurring, whether it's daily, weekly, fortnightly, monthly, etc. Set an end date. Do you want to repeat it? And when do you want it to show up on your dashboard, so your dashboard's not too cluttered all the time. These date set tasks all appear on a calendar. Most of our users at the moment are using these calendars with their clients to help them stay organised and be able to give them information back on a timely fashion. And a client may want to assign you a task, like please provide a report or ask you a question. So it's great to just use XBert for that tool, so you don't have to be shuffling through millions of emails. If you can talk your client into using XBert as the one and only communication tool, you'll have a lot tidier and streamlined process within your business. So the whole idea is that once all these XBerts are tidied up, you want to clear your dashboard. When there's nothing on your dashboard, it will appear there's nothing on your dashboard, and it'll sync in an hour, and hopefully no more will appear based on the quality of the work that's going on. But just remember, with XBerts, they're not just about coding errors and GST issues. There are many about business issues that they're not sort of your job to fix, but they're actually for the business owner to actually think about to help make a decision. Unusual monthly billing or invoicing will be one of those that you definitely assign that to the user. And that's a great way to sort of say, hey, we've run over one of your clients that usually pays you a lot of money, seems to be dropping off. You assign that to him and have a good chat, get them in for a meeting. Great way to justify some value-added services and on charge for your time. So once the data's clean, the whole idea is that these snapshots that are built for the business owner are way more accurate and help the business owner make better decisions for his business. We've got a whole bunch of these. We're building these all the time. Things like weekly earn rate, burn rates, what's in their bank accounts based on bank feeds, credit cards, what's landed. If I'd be out of cash, if I'd spent no more money and no one else paid me, how long am I going to last? In this case, 7 days, I'd be panicking. What's not reconciled, what's overdue. I can click on these. These snapshots have a little bit more information behind them and give the business owner quick access to important information that he might be waiting for you on because you're so busy with everybody else. Some of the other things here are their monthly profit, their P&Ls, largest income. It's nice to know where your largest income comes from and when that changes, and what your largest expenses are outside wages and as such, and know that there could be a way, think about a reason there to reduce those costs. GST is always a good one for them to keep at top of mind. It always gets forgotten, we know that. And running tax balances and recurring spends are a good one. It sort of alerts them to what recurring spends they have in their business, like subscriptions. A lot of people forget about these, and whilst they're generally small amounts of money, they all add up. We also have charts, and we're building on these regularly. This is sort of what we've got now. A little quick chart about overdue bills. You need to pay them, but if you did pay them, this is the money you'd have left. Money that you need to chase. If it all landed, this is what you'd have in your bank balance. Sort of shows your profit target, so a nice little one, nice little sort of incentive for businesses to see, what's been their best month, and set a little mental target to be able to beat that month. So it's a nice little chart. This one sort of is we call it our XBert P&L because it includes what's not reconciled. So we've gone in and detected what's in and outgoing money, and adjusted the P&L based on that. We're also working on a cash flows thing here that sort of looks at your burn and earn rates and your outgoing expenses. We're looking to improve that one very soon. So based on sort of using tasks and assigning experts, you have a little activity board. You have my activity here. You can sort of see where you've got a task assigned to you. You can quickly view on that particular task or expert and have a look at that. You also have a team chat. Think of sort of like Slack, I guess. Most of our users use this, dedicate the team chats for their client. Think about experts built really well for mobile phones, and use just like an app, and they can then communicate with their clients and staff here. So a great way, many users are using this now just to have a quick team chat with their actual client rather than their internal staff. They're using their team chat on the Connect dashboard to talk to their staff. We also have this great page, we call it the potential savings. And what we do here, think about, you might want to pass on the cost to your client. And as usual, everyone's sort of a bit money conscious and don't want to spend money on endless apps. Except ours tells you that it is worth its money. And what we do is we record everything that we find and everything you resolve. This is a demo account. We don't have a lot in here, but you can sort of see, here's all the things we found. This little one here, you actually fix it, and it equates to amount of money. You can also go, okay, a lot of these things added up as time, and if my time was worth this much money, I've sort of saved this much money in time. So think about those clients that look after most of their books and get you to tidy them up. This is a great way to justify using such a new and great collaboration tool and have find things that they may never find. We often get asked, what are the favourite things that save people time and get rid of headaches? I guess obviously the GST checking experts are a massive time saver for compliance, and the ABN checks is just something that people don't like to go back through their contact records time and time again. You hook up XBert, it does it all for you. Obviously, incorrect account coding to wrong accounts, that's a good one to make sure that you've got working away for you, and to ensure that you don't have to go back and fix those at the end of every quarter. And it ensures that your reports are a lot more accurate and based on where information should be recorded. I guess headaches that it's solved. People go, "Oh, is it going to save my headaches?" So I guess we've speaking to so many people, and think about it. If you are one of those, you might be a bookkeeper that has a messy client that you'd rather be adding more value to. This will help them tidy up things to extent, and when they can't fix it, they're going to be able to push these things over to you to sort of help out with. It's all nice and recorded, one single task, and you can communicate within that task, and it allows you then to be able to add a little bit more value to your client. Also think about if you have a lot of staff. I guess one of the things we've talked to a lot of businesses about is that they employ many other bookkeepers, and accountants employ bookkeepers, and they might outsource their bookkeepers to overseas countries these days. XBert is a great way to keep an eye on the quality of the work that's happening within your practice, because ultimately it is your practice and you want quality work going out the door. Other users, what are they telling us? So there's some time savers that I haven't shown you yet. There is also a great new little feature that we have built, and it is called our browser extension. So I might just jump into Xero by clicking on one of these, back into BP Wardell, and up here, might be a little bit hard to see, I've loaded in the Chrome browser extension that I get from the Chrome extension store. We've also built in Edge and Firefox with Safari on the way very shortly. Now what this little icon does up here is it follows you around Xero in the particular client. What it does is it looks for any experts or tasks related to what you are looking at on the screen right now. What I'll do is I know where I've got one somewhere. I've got this little True North Accountants sitting away in here, and you'll see now that up in the top corner, my little expert has got a little red dot on it saying there's something to fix. There's something to fix here. There's an expert related to this, or there's a task related to this. I can now click on this, and it shows me here that there's an expert that's not assigned to anyone, and it's large GST activity for a contact without ABN, and it's this contact, True North Accountants. So this is something I need to fix. So think about how much time this will save. You don't have to keep going in and out of XBert. This little browser extension follows you around, and it alerts you to issues on the data that you're looking at. And not only just what you're looking at, it has related tasks. In this instance, when you're in contacts, it's looking for other contact issues. So you can see here I've actually created some tasks about some contact records that I need to look at. And how do I make those tasks is another question. I can create a task anywhere in Xero that is linked to that exact page or entry, and it will land back on the task board for the person that you assign that task to in the respective client XBert account. So that is a massive time saver, especially with those clients that you're actually gone in there to tidy up the books, and you need to ask questions about why is this, why is that, please explain. Fantastic tool. You can also pull in all your tasks, so they're just your tasks that you are meant to do on this Xero file. So again, without having to go in and out of XBert, you've got access to those tasks right here. It's a massive time saver, the browser extension. Yeah, just sort of thought I'd want to talk quickly just about how most of our users are using the product at the moment. We do have some that bookkeepers and accountants that use XBert purely within their organisation, but you really do need to think about it as a part of the, I guess, the shared app platform or app category, should I say, about sharing it with your customers. So what I would suggest is that you do invite your users in. Hide those experts if you really need to. We will be getting some settings in. You can invite your customers in here. It's really important to get your customers involved within XBert for that nice tactile, sticky communication, I guess. I mean, if you get your clients entrenched in using the workflow in here, then they're less liable to. You're less liable to have some sort of churn. You've got to really think about what your clients want. They really do want good service, good advice, and a high perceived value for what they pay for. So if they know you're sort of using a tool to sort of manage your books and to be able to free up a little bit of time to actually add more value, they're likely to stick around with you for the long haul. And I guess if the data's cleaner, by working together, then the snapshots of their business, they're a lot more accurate, and there's a lot more trust in the numbers, and there's a lot more trust in the people that are looking after the numbers. So what's coming up with XBert in our roadmap? We're fortunate enough to have a massive following at the moment that is getting involved in what we're doing, asking for snapshots, asking for experts. So we're constantly moving our priority lists around based on the most popular thing that everyone wants. So please get involved in that. But so we've got a few big things coming up. Creating the ability to add your documents to tasks. We've also got something that I will give you a sneak peek of. Back on our Connect dashboard is this new item that will be coming soon. It's called the process status table page. Not sure what we're calling it yet. It hopefully will be released the second week of December. What we've heard a lot about from our users is that how do we get experts to sort of evolve into our processes. So what we've built is we're on a demo. A staging site right now. So what everyone's sort of asking for, how do I get those experts into our process? So where we're going with this in a week is that you'll be able to put your tasks into categories or buckets or tags, as we're calling them. And you'll be able to tag those up alongside the experts. They're already defaulted into a tag, and you can put them in these buckets that you work commonly in, and you can change these headings and the settings to suit your business. And what will happen here is that you'll see that you've either completed all those tasks that you need to get done within your quarter or month, and what is not completed will come up here in 5, and if we get over a certain number, it might turn red, and here you'll be able to get access to that particular list of tasks in XBert, and take you straight into that client account and show you those things that you need to work on. So that's something that's coming soon. We do also have a print button coming. One of the things where I'll show you where we're sticking the print button on every XBert account. You have your potential savings page. We jumped in here before. What most of our users are finding this fantastic for is onboarding a client. So they load up a file into XBert to have a quick little health check about what needs to be done, and actually work out how many hours is going to be needed tidying up the file that has just been introduced to their business. And I guess we keep hearing, how much do we charge when we take on a client? Using this little tool and having a print button here to sort of showcase how many things that need to be fixed is a great way to. It's a great thing to be able to put in front of a client and justify, sort of what you've found. It doesn't take you any time more than to just sink a file in to be able to get this report. So That's a good one. So a little print button coming soon. It'll have your logo at the top of the page. So that's a little sneak peek of what we're doing. As far as sort of pricing structure goes for XBert, we try and do it slightly different, where you really just pay for your 0 files that you load up. We try not to put you in brackets where you sort of get over 25 and you have to pay for the next 25 in a bundle. We just try and keep it nice and simple. So here, if you look at the multi-connect portal here, we have pricing here, single organisations. Once you get over the 10, price reduces down. Once you get over the 26, the price reduces down for those as well. And if you're looking for an enterprise agreement with files over 100 type of files, it's all about giving us a ring, getting involved in our program. And anyone can get involved in the program about building new experts for certain verticals which we're trying to do. So please get in touch and talk to us about that. Guys, I think that's about all I've got to go through today. Took a while. I hope it was worthwhile. Please reach out. On our website we do have a area where you can book a demo, or you want to have a chat. Book this demo button down here. Will send me off a little email or one of my team where you can sit down and get half an hour of their time to help you get onboarded if you like, or just to find out more information before you're ready, or to have any kind of chat about what we're up to. Please do. Our product's meant for you, and we need to make sure that things that we build are right for you and will be used by all of you. Okay guys, look, thank you very much for your time today. Thanks AAT, really appreciate it. Sam, mate, great to be able to present XBert. Please jump on our Facebook pages and things that we're getting all sorted now, see what we're up to. We're trying to release new features and things on there so you know what's going on, and get involved in the future of XBert. Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot guys. I will hope to hear from you all. Bye.